Welcome back to another episode of Penny Help Jess. Today is episode 425. And I think we're going to have a good one today. Not only is it a red penny roll, which looks like one of the vintage ancient ones, but it's also crimped. And it has a copper there. I bet I'm gonna make a prediction that this is over 50% copper. Okay. So what are we going to talk about today? Besides the pennies we find, obviously. I've been doing a lot of, the more you read about penny errors online, right? From, I guess I'm going to say professionals or very experienced people in the field. I'm gonna see if I can push this out one shot. Where's my? Here it goes. It's my little handy dandy oil. Nope. Yeah, looks like mostly copper. Very good. That's what we wanted to see. Is it all copper? I don't think it's all copper. Like this one here, I don't think it's copper. And I'm wrong. It's a beautiful 82 and it is copper. Wow. So it's so funny. I've been doing this now for quite some time. In my opinion, well, not necessarily lengthwise, but definitely consistently, right? So you could find someone who has been doing penny roll hunting for 10 years, just for example. But they penny roll hunt, once a week, and they don't do any research, or, you know what I'm saying? They just, whatever. It's just a hobby, which is fine. It is just a hobby to some degree. And then it's also a profession just to others. All right. So these are beauties, man. It's unbelievable. Very hard to find. Oh, another 82. This one is zinc. Another 82 zinc. Well, the first one was copper. Wow, that's wild. Copper. See, you can tell by the little bumps on the surface. Wow. And they're both Philadelphia large dates. Nice. Both in very pretty condition. So there are things that I've come to realize or understand after, with all this time and with assistance. People out there have helped me. My members, of course, are very helpful. We have some avid subscribers that are very helpful. But the research is where most of my, like all of us, right? You can read a college level book, but it's not the same as going to college, unless you're really doing, you're reading that amount, you're forced to do it in college. You know what I'm saying? If you go to college, you're forced to read that much. So far, all copper so far. Yeah, if they didn't force me to do all that reading, I wouldn't have done it. So let me separate. Some of these are really nice. I got 3 little piles going on here. So it's not sticking. I don't know if the pennies aren't sticking to my, for some reason. Maybe I gotta press a little harder. And a large part of it is because the material that's out there in regards to numismatics is it's dense, man. It's dense reading material. It's complicated. It takes a little bit of building upon, you know, like you can't just you can't just pick up one of these books, man, and start reading through it and think that you're going to understand what you're reading through. You know, it takes time. It takes practice, right? You have to be looking at the coins also in practice as a way to let me look at this one under the loop. Might have some, looks like we have some doubling for sure in the T. I mean, it could be machine doubling, but there's some type of doubling, machine doubling or otherwise. Well, this one's kind of tricky. Maybe they all are, but this one a little bit more so than maybe another one. All right, so we have the T, which, let me see. For some reason, I don't know if that light is causing too much glare. I can't do this with the... all right, that's a little better. I cleaned off the lens, and I took off my gloves because I can't hold on to the coin with the gloves on. So you can see the two images on the T, right? You have the one on the top and you have the one on the bottom. Most likely, you know, machine doubling or a deteriorated die. But here on the left, look at the T. Look at the L, excuse me. And I'm just realizing on the E also. So the L has a raised portion. Again, this could be machine doubling. Excuse me, deteriorated die. So this could be deteriorated die. The E can also might also be machine. See the line there. Machine, mechanical doubling, machine doubling, and then the T. So a very interesting coin. We'll look at it more later, all right? Because it's already, video is getting too long. So, we got a nice die clash. Look how jagged it is here. Because that's weird. It's dirty over here, so you can't see the other side of the die clash. If it's there, the head would be right here. And let's see, where is it? Is it jagged? Oh, is it the nose? Huh. It's weird. You know what? I never know which way it's facing. I always, for some reason, felt like it's facing this way. Is that the chin and the mouth? No, or is it the nose and the forehead? I don't know. It's a weird die clash. Look how, oh, it goes in. Look how far out it comes. Weird. A nice one though. Don't know. That one probably need a little conservation. I'm telling you, copper pennies is so interesting. They're so interesting. So the only thing the only thing I can really add to any of this is that I'm here to try to bring some of what I'm learning to you through my penny roll hunting. And it has taken a lot of time, a lot of coin examination. I'm over here staring at this on the face of the coin, and I was like, okay, I don't recall a dent. It's not a pleat, but a design in the coat that has this angular triangle on it like that. So I took out another penny, and I've never seen them that striking before. I guess it's here. This one doesn't even have it. I guess it doesn't. It's crazy, man. This is nuts. Okay, there it goes. Kind of. They don't even look the same. That has got to be the strongest version of it I've ever seen. So that's all I really have to offer, is vast amount of knowledge to imbue upon my audience. That's all I have to offer, canyons of intellect to transfer upon the viewer. That's all I have to offer, so, I'm sorry if that's not enough, but cavernous amounts of, intelligent, that's it. That's all I got, man. I'm sorry, if that's not enough. Of course, I'm being facetious, but, yeah, if you've been doing this longer than me, well, not longer. I mean, like I said, it doesn't matter if you're doing it longer. It has to do with what you're putting your energy into. And I would not blame anybody for just saying, hey, man, here's a $5 super chat. Tell me, you do the research. You know what I'm saying? This is way too many hours of way too many hours of study just to see. Well, what is this? Looks like, I'm pretty sure this is a zinc. Another 82. Weird. We're gonna have to weigh these. I definitely want to see the weights on those at some point. Now I'm all into the coat of Lincoln. That's a nice misaligned die. Nice tone too. So, my focus is going to shift a little bit. Is shifting, not going to. Is shifting slightly. I want to be able to differentiate between mechanical doubling, dye deterioration, and dye abrasion. You know, that's kind of where my journey has taken me. And here we go. There we go. And knowing what those things are. And then, of course, there's all the other errors. There's a ton of other errors. This is one of them, where it could either be a grease strike, right? That's given that that blending in towards the rim, or there's also a double dye that does that. But I don't see the doubling there. I just see that blending of the top of the letters towards the rim. So that would tell me it's not most likely not a double dye, but something else is going on. But that something else is some sort of manufacturing defect, right? Because it's not supposed to happen. So it could still be a mint error, even though it's not a double dye. So that's the other thing to be careful of. I don't want to disregard this looks centered on one side. Look how brown it is. I don't think it's a lamination error. But I don't see it on the edge. Usually you'll see some of the coloring on the edge. There's a line going through it. I don't see. Maybe it is a lamination error. Look, see lines through it. Maybe it is a lamination error. I do not see sintered scents being sold. Look at the I in Liberty. Let me look at this under the loop. Well, if I'm not going to use my gloves, I better start doing my fingernails again. I think that's one of the things that I got lazy about from using gloves. This camera is so good that it gets. Look how close it gets to my thumb. I mean, you could see almost see the cells. Anyway, all right, that's something I have to take care of. Little finger hygiene there. Yeah, there could be. So I'm going to read the definition of extra thickness, because it's really one of the more interesting types of double dyes that is very confusing with dye deterioration. What I will do is I will do a separate video on the meaning of Wechsler's definition of extra thickness, but for now I'll just show you a picture, okay? So you can see how, and it does look like it's starting to separate, right? Here it doesn't, it just looks extra thick, extra thick, extra thick, but you can almost see another little one next to it. So it's a class 6 double die. And now when we look at this, does not appear to have it there. Now again, the Liberty kind of does on the I and the B. Is it throughout the whole Liberty? I'm going to say no on the Y, the T. Well, you know, I shouldn't say that. To me, they don't look extra thick. The R possibly, the E possibly, the B and the I, and you can see some of this, what appears to be some type of separation starting, or you know what I mean, on the I and the B. Like there's some sort of separation there, and they look extra thick. All right, so possibly an extra thick double die on that coin. So that's to me, what I'm doing here is what's important, and that is to have a good understanding, or a better understanding of the errors. Well, that's interesting. That could be die deterioration. Part of the S is not there. So interestingly enough, for the S, see, you can see the bottom part of the S there, and it's missing, right? So for it to be missing, how could it be missing? The only way it could be missing is really, there's no scratch or anything like that. So it's from the minting process. Either it fell off, right? That's one answer, or something is in the space, the die, the working die. Something got caught in the space, because you can see the outline of the bottom of the S, and then so when it punched the planchet, something was in the space, obstructing the space, the void, and it didn't put the line there. So again, it is a mint error. All right, this we have a lot more pennies to do, and this is one of the reasons why I try not to get too deep. I'll do one more, and then we'll have a part 2. This is why I try not to get too deep into the definitions and stuff during the penny roll hunt. Otherwise, they take forever. Oh wow! And these old pennies, you know, they're these old copper pennies. Oh, look at that Liberty. Let me look at that R under the loop. No, I don't think so. I don't think there's anything there. So okay, so what we're gonna end the thought we're gonna end with for this part of episode 425 is we really need to learn the different classes of double die. Even if I type it out, and if I print it out and keep it to my side, so that way I have a reference to look at while I'm doing the coin roll hunting, because I can't remember what they are. You know, like I'm just starting to commit to memory the 3 similar types of double dies that are not double dies. They are they're post the die being made, right? Because remember that the double dies are something happening to the die while the die is being created. You know, there's like 3 parts to the last die that makes the pennies, the working die. There are multiple aspects to that working die being made, and in that die making process, the working die has to be changed. I don't want to say damaged, but that has to be changed so that all of the images produced afterwards will have that changed image. Now, if something happens to the die after it's made, right? So it's a perfectly working die. There's nothing wrong with it. But then something happens to it. It gets deteriorated. It tilts a little bit when it hits the coin, right? Something happens while it's during the minting process. That is not a double die. That's either abrasion die, mechanical doubling, or see, I already forgot what the third one is. Mechanical or abrasion, mechanical, and whatever the other one is. So, and it's important to know the difference because I'm running around calling them double dies, and they're not. They're really some form of. But it's still. But now, remember, it's still a mint error, right? It's an error that something went wrong with the. But you need to know the difference. Anyway, too much talking. I'll see you in part 2.